The dark secrets behind Elizabeth Zhong's murder. What if the life of a wealthy, successful businesswoman isn't as glamorous as it seems? Behind Elizabeth Zhong's polished public image lay a web of dark secrets. Secrets so shocking they led to her untimely death. In this video, we'll uncover the untold truths, expose hidden betrayals, and reveal how her world came crashing down. Stay with me, because what you think you know about this case is only the beginning. Welcome or welcome back to Dark Case Stories, your destination for chilling true crime stories that delve into the darkest corners of human nature. From unsolved mysteries to notorious serial killers, we explore real-life cases that shock, terrify, and leave you questioning everything. With in-depth research, compelling storytelling, and haunting details, each video will take you deep into the minds of criminals and the stories of their victims. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any episode. Elizabeth Zhong had it all: wealth, success, and influence. But behind the facade of luxury lay dark secrets that would ultimately lead to her tragic murder. What you're about to hear will completely change how you see this case. Elizabeth Zhong, 55, was born in China and later moved to New Zealand to build a new life filled with opportunities. Her early life reflected resilience and ambition, qualities that would later define her career. Known as a passionate entrepreneur, Elizabeth built her reputation in the business world by investing in the wine and film industries, two highly competitive and demanding fields. Her ventures were ambitious but fraught with challenges. Elizabeth's film production company garnered attention for promoting New Zealand cinema internationally, while her wine business sought to merge traditional craftsmanship with modern branding. However, beneath this polished exterior, her life was marked by intense pressure. Elizabeth's personal relationships were equally complex. Divorced and living alone, she was described by friends as kind but guarded. She rarely shared personal details, leaving those close to her with the impression of a woman battling unseen burdens. Her financial troubles, business disputes, and legal entanglements painted a picture of a life more tumultuous than it seemed. Elizabeth's business dealings became central to the investigation into her death. Reports surfaced about lawsuits involving former business associates, and allegations of mismanagement. Financial records revealed significant losses, suggesting a once thriving empire on the brink of collapse. Several colleagues had raised concerns about the transparency of her operations. These conflicts hinted at deep-seated animosities that might have contributed to her tragic demise. The pressure to maintain her image while managing failing businesses created an environment ripe for conflict. Sunny Hills, Auckland, was a neighbourhood of calm streets and picturesque homes, a place where families felt secure. Elizabeth's murder turned this tranquil suburb into a scene of disbelief and fear. Neighbours described her as polite but private. Some recalled seeing her on walks or working late at night. However, no one could have imagined the violent end that would unfold just steps away from their own homes. Residents were left questioning how such a brutal crime could happen in their quiet community. The morning of the crime was cold and overcast, with the kind of eerie stillness that precedes a storm. Elizabeth's home stood silent, its curtains drawn, as police officers swarmed the street. The sight of her car, now a crime scene, was jarring amidst the neatly trimmed hedges and spotless driveways. The air was heavy with tension as investigators combed the area. Yellow crime scene tape fluttered in the breeze, a stark contrast to the vibrant garden surrounding it. The usual sounds of birds chirping and children playing were replaced by murmured conversations and the hum of police radios. This unsettling juxtaposition between the idyllic suburb and the horrific crime left an indelible mark on the community and set the stage for the chilling revelations that would follow. Elizabeth Zhong's life had always been a whirlwind of ambition and achievement, but behind the scenes, cracks were beginning to show. Elizabeth's businesses were facing severe financial difficulties. Legal documents revealed debts amounting to millions, with investors alleging fraudulent practices. Tensions boiled over as lawsuits piled up, tarnishing her reputation. Imagine being at the top of your game, only to have it all crumble. For Elizabeth, the pressure must have been suffocating. Among her adversaries, Fang Sun stood out. A trusted associate turned bitter rival, Sun accused Elizabeth of mismanaging funds and jeopardizing his investments. Their once cordial partnership became a battlefield of accusations and threats. Witnesses reported heated arguments, with some overhearing Fang Sun exclaim, "You'll pay for what you've done." As tensions escalated, Elizabeth became reclusive. Friends noticed she was avoiding social gatherings and meetings, and she confided fears about her safety. She mentioned feeling watched and receiving cryptic threats, but brushed them off, saying, "I can handle this." In the weeks leading to her death, Elizabeth's world seemed to close in on her. Lawsuits, estranged relationships, and the looming shadow of Fang Sun created a toxic cocktail of fear and betrayal. The night of November 27th, 2020 was eerily quiet in Sunny Hills. No one could have anticipated the gruesome events that were about to unfold. Investigators believe that Fang Sun arrived at Elizabeth's home under the guise of a discussion. Tempers flared, and what began as a heated argument spiraled into violence. In a fit of rage, Sun stabbed Elizabeth multiple times. The ferocity of the attack left no doubt. It was personal. Forensic experts described the scene as a brutal act of uncontrolled anger. In an attempt to conceal the crime, Sun placed Elizabeth's body in the trunk of her own car. CCTV footage later captured the vehicle being driven away, only to be abandoned a short distance from her home. As the night wore on, Sunny Hills remained blissfully unaware of the horror concealed in the parked car. The following morning, November 28th, Elizabeth's car was reported to the police by a neighbour who found its placement suspicious. When officers opened the trunk, the discovery left them shaken. A body wrapped in bloodied material, later identified as Elizabeth Zhong. Sunny Hills, known for its serenity, was rocked by the news. Residents were stunned that such a violent crime could happen in their neighbourhood. One neighbour recalled, "I've lived here for 20 years, and nothing like this has ever happened." Friends and family were devastated. While some painted Elizabeth as a kind and ambitious woman, others hinted at the stress she carried and the enemies she'd made. Her story quickly became the focus of national headlines, with debates surrounding the pressures of success. Police wasted no time. Forensic teams combed through the car and her home, uncovering key evidence that pointed to Fang Sun. His purchase of knives just days earlier and his erratic behavior during questioning added weight to their suspicions. The media zeroed in on the case, portraying it as a Shakespearean tragedy. A powerful woman brought down by ambition and betrayal. Questions about her business dealings and the motive behind the crime dominated the headlines. Elizabeth Zhong was a driven entrepreneur who commanded respect in New Zealand's business circles. Yet, beneath her polished exterior, her world was slowly unraveling. Elizabeth's wine and film businesses, once thriving, were under heavy financial strain. Accusations of mismanagement and unpaid debts surfaced, leading to lawsuits and growing animosity from her business partners. Complex relationships. Elizabeth's life was entangled with numerous professional and personal connections, making it difficult to narrow down suspects initially. The high-profile nature of the case led to intense media scrutiny, putting additional pressure on the investigative team to deliver swift results. Surveillance cameras captured a figure believed to be Fang Sun entering and leaving Elizabeth's property on the night of the murder. This footage became a cornerstone of the investigation, establishing a timeline of events. Blood matching Elizabeth's DNA was found inside her home, confirming that the crime occurred there. Additional forensic evidence, including fingerprints, linked Fang Sun to the scene. The investigators uncovered receipts showing that Fang Sun had purchased knives days before the murder. The knives matched the type of weapon used in the attack, further implicating him. Neighbours reported hearing loud arguments from Elizabeth's house on the night of the crime. While none of them directly saw the altercation, their testimonies corroborated the timeline. Police theorized that the murder was motivated by financial disputes and personal animosity. Fang Sun had both the opportunity and a clear motive, as he stood to lose a significant amount of money due to Elizabeth's business troubles. Some speculated that another business associate, feeling betrayed or financially wronged, could have orchestrated the crime. Targeted killing. Another theory suggested that Elizabeth may have been the victim of a professional hit arranged by someone with a vested interest in silencing her. Evidence continued to point to Fang Sun's involvement. The combination of financial disputes, his history of threats, and the forensic findings created a compelling case against him. The prosecution argued that Elizabeth Zhong's death was a carefully orchestrated murder, likely involving a close acquaintance or family member. They pointed to suspicious financial transactions and communications that suggested a motive tied to personal gain. The prosecution also emphasized the lack of evidence to support any claims of a natural death or accident. The defense denied any allegations of foul play, suggesting that Elizabeth's death could have been the result of an unfortunate health issue or accidental circumstances. They contested the prosecution's claims, arguing that there was not enough solid evidence to prove that the death was anything other than natural causes. The prosecution presented testimony from forensic experts who examined Elizabeth's body, finding inconsistencies with the idea of natural death. Financial records, including significant withdrawals, were also used to show possible motives related to Elizabeth's wealth. The defense, however, presented expert medical testimony suggesting that the cause of death could not be definitively proven to be anything other than natural. The case remains unsolved, with authorities continuing to investigate the circumstances of Elizabeth Zhong's death. While there are strong suspicions surrounding the manner of her death, no formal charges have been made, and the mystery of what truly happened remains unresolved. As of now, the Elizabeth Zhong case remains unsolved, with investigations still ongoing. Law enforcement agencies have not been able to definitively determine the cause of her death, and no charges have been filed. Despite the mounting suspicions around the circumstances of her death, the case continues to puzzle authorities. In recent months, there have been attempts to re-examine the forensic evidence and gather new leads, but no major breakthroughs have been made. The tragic death of Elizabeth Zhong has deeply affected her family, who are still seeking answers and grappling with the uncertainty surrounding her death. Her sudden passing has left a void, especially for those who were close to her. The community, particularly those familiar with her, has been shaken, as many believe she was well liked and had no known enemies. The case leaves viewers pondering the complexities of human nature, greed, betrayal, and the search for justice. The question remains, will Elizabeth Zhong ever receive the justice she deserves? As investigations continue, her family and the community await answers, and the public remains captivated by the mystery surrounding her death. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're alerted when new content is uploaded. Let's continue to uncover the truth together.